Alright, so at the point of me making this video, YNW Melly has been incarcerated for 2,204 days. Damn! 2,204 days. YNW Melly has now been in custody. The judge is now urging prosecutors to move forward during YNW Melly's hearing. I hate this in all angles and aspects of this because check it out, right? It is not the prosecution that is not moving forward. It is YNW Melly's attorneys who keep on filing all these motions. And every time they file a motion, it slows everything down. But then they keep pointing fingers at the prosecution. Look at this, right? Rapper YNW Melly recently appeared in court on Tuesday. Today is Thursday. So 2 days ago, he appeared in court. At that point, it was 2,202 days of incarceration already. He appeared for a hearing for a motion that was brought forth by his defense. Again, another motion. YNW Melly's real name is Jamel Demons, and he is accused of shooting and killing his friends, Christopher Thomas Jr. and Anthony Williams, in 2018 in Miramar, Florida. Man, after watching the first YNW Melly trial, I'm one of the people that came away saying ain't no way he beaten this case. They got evidence that he cannot refute. He is going to prison. But after seeing ASAP Rocky beat his case, I don't know. Anything is possible these days. I guess it depends behind the scenes how much clout you have, how much somebody who is invested in you, who is in a high place, has pull and connections, and how much money they stand to make off of you if you're free versus if you're locked up. So it's about the connections and the finances. Money talks, bullshit walk, or the other way around, however that goes. Anyways, during the hearing, several motions were discussed, right? This hearing that they went to court for 2 days ago, Tuesday. During the hearing, several motions were discussed because, you know, his team has filed several motions, which is slowing up the whole case. So during the hearing, several of those motions were discussed by YNW Melly's lead attorney, who is Rayvon Liberty. I thought Rayvon Liberty was under investigation for witness tampering, and YNW Melly had up until a deadline to decide if he wanted to drop her from his defense. Anyways, she was in court 2 days ago, and they were discussing these different motions, and a state prosecutor, which included scheduling depositions and obtaining the victim's cell phone content. Now, that's what they were talking about, scheduling the depositions and obtaining the victim's cell phone content. The victim, I'm guessing, must be YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie. Remember, YNW Bortland, or Cortland Henry, is co-defendant to YNW Melly in this case. According to prosecution, YNW Bortland, or YNW Bortland, aka or otherwise known as, or his real name, Cortland Henry, he was the one that was driving the car, right? YNW Melly apparently was the shooter in the car. I'm telling you right now, if I was YNW Bortland or Cortland Henry, I would have been at this point. I'm like, listen, judge, I'm going to tell you the truth, right? I was scared shitless. The first time the gun went off in the car, I was like, oh shit, he just killed Sack Chaser. Because Sack Chaser was sitting in the front seat next to the driver. He just killed Sack Chaser right in front of me. I thought he was going to shoot me in my head next. And then YNW Juvie looked like he was going to say something, or he said, what'd you do that for? And he shot YNW Juvie too. So I thought I was going to be next. I was scared, Your Honor. YNW Bortland looks like he's going to be that crash dummy and loyal friend that goes all the way down with this story. Anyways, back to YNW Melly. So YNW Melly has now been in custody for 2,204 days as of February 20th, 2025. And if one state attorney is not available, maybe one of the other two that are assigned to the case can stand in. And if all three are not available, maybe one of the 150 state attorneys upstairs might be able to sit in, is what the judge, Martin S. Feen, said. Now, you know, for the judge to be talking like this, the judge is fed up off the bullshit and just wants to get forward with the case, man. He said, this is the judge saying this. The judge says, Mr. Demings has now been in custody for 2,204 days. And if one of the state attorneys is not available, maybe one of the other ones or the other two who are assigned to this case can stand in. And if all three of them are not available, then maybe one of the 150 state attorneys who are upstairs might be able to stand in. In other words, stop playing around in my courtroom. Let's go. So Judge Feen also urged the prosecutors to move forward with this case. We are moving forward, Judge, but the other issue is that Miss Liberty must properly coordinate, and this is YNW Melly's lawyer. The prosecution is saying that she, Miss Liberty, must properly coordinate and must properly notice the state. One of the state attorneys said. Judge Feen then pushes back against the state's reason and said that ain't enough. I ain't trying to hear that bullshit right now. And said that Liberty does not need to coordinate anything, but must make a good faith effort. That's it. The hell? She must make a good faith effort. So you could just go to court and say, well, I tried. You know, I made a good faith effort, but she doesn't need to do it. The state responded by saying that she had asked for dates. They provided them to her, but she schedules them outside of those proposed times, which is causing a problem. Liberty claims that she had printed every email regarding dates. The judge then told both of them to stop. Stop this bullshit. Stop this going back and forth. Listen, in case I'm not making my feelings on this point clear, I am not prejudging anything, but talking to a judge about trying to agree to set depots or depositions in a death penalty case is absurd. And I'm embarrassed for both sides, the judge said. Wow. Ultimately, that motion was denied. Another motion that was discussed last time Melly was in court 2 days ago was for the defense to receive some forensic images from Thomas Jr. and Williams' cell phone. That is from YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie's phone, the two victims. The defense needed to receive forensic images from their phones. The state said that some content of the cell phones were turned over to the defense, while some content was not, because they felt like it was not relevant to the case. Oh, wow. You can't just turn over some of what you feel like, though, because you feel like it's not relevant to the case. You got to turn over everything, right? Especially if later on you plan on using it in court or might use it in court to your defense. So the state doesn't get to decide what's relevant and what's not relevant, the lawyer said. He's a homicide victim. Just turn over everything you have, damn it. Damn. The judge is fed up with this shit. I'm starting to think that YNW Melly fans out here who are saying, watch and see. Watch and see if Melly don't beat this case. Because they keep doing all this stuff and going round and round in a circle. 2,204 days in. Watch and see all this obstruction. Now, mind you, a lot of the obstruction is coming from YNW Melly's team, but I think this is a part of their tactics to stall until everybody is frustrated, until the damn case gets thrown out or another hung jury. Because here we are. This is the state who is prosecuting YNW Melly. The state said that some content of the cell phone of the two victims were turned over to the defense, which is they gave some of it to YNW Melly's attorneys already. And the rest that they didn't give to them, they didn't give it to them because they didn't feel like it was relevant to the case. Now that's bullshit. The judge jumps in and says to the state that's prosecuting Melly, you don't have the friggin' right to say what's relevant and what's not. This is a murder. We're talking about homicide victims. Turn every friggin' thing over to them. Every effing thing over to them. Period. And let's move forward. So the Judge Fiend, granted the defense's motion for the state to turn over all of the content in YNW Sack Chaser and YNW Juvie's cell phone. Go over there and download everything that they have, is what the judge said. Now recently, Judge Fiend had gone back and forth with YNW Melly's defense attorneys over a Broward Sheriff's Office investigation into Liberty, which is YNW Melly's attorney. So up until this point, the state has been tight-lipped about what the investigation entails. They have her under investigation. We heard that it was about witness tampering, but up until now, they have not really said what they are investigating his attorney for. On February 9th of 2025, YNW Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah Hamilton, who is a key witness in his upcoming double murder retrial, hoped to convince the judge that she should be allowed to be let out of jail after she violated a judge order to testify in YNW Melly's original trial. She went on a run. She was hiding. Judge Fiend ruled that she could actually leave jail, but she's going to have to wear an ankle monitor, and that Hamilton's next hearing, which is YNW Melly's ex-girlfriend, she's scheduled back to be in court February 21st, 2025 at 8:45 a.m., which is Friday. That's tomorrow. His first trial, we all know, ended in a mistrial in 2023, and his new trial has yet to begin. YNW Melly's next hearing is scheduled for April 1st, and his trial is set for September 10th of 2025. For those of you all listening to this, do you think that YNW Melly is going to be let off based on technicalities, or do you think that the state has enough to get him convicted on this double murder charge? If you say yes or no, be kind enough to leave your comment in the comment section along with the explanation as to why you chose yes or no. I'll catch you on the next video. It's Brainflow TV / Hot Topics TV. You already know if the topic is hot, we're on it. Hit that subscribe button and stay up to date as we keep you close to this case and any other trending stories out there. I'm out. Peace.